Oh, yes, we are. Wait till you see the long-range temperatures. Can you believe it was minus 31 in Kitchener this morning? A record that had stood since 1919. And we're dodging the storms south of the border. It's pretty chaotic with flights canceled, with kids home from school. South Carolina, you know, it's an interesting story. The Daytona 500 is coming up soon. And from Charlotte, North Carolina, down to Daytona, a lot of the teams decamped early to get around this storm system. So it's affecting very many things, daily life, big sporting events as well. The rain's in green, the freezing rain's in red. This has been prolonged freezing rain and ice accretion in many areas of the U.S. South. There's Nashville, Tennessee at the north snowy end of this low, the second storm in as many days. And that low is rocketing up to our Atlantic provinces. We've got a weakening cold front. Overnight, blowing snow moves into northern Ontario. There goes that bruiser of a storm system. Boston, D.C., New York, if you've got plans that take you through there, keep that in mind. And then Halifax is going to get some snow. And we're going to get some snow, too. Should I take you into Valentine's Day morning? Friday morning. Weak little low, a dusting, perhaps, for the commute. Nothing too serious. The thing that has got everybody excited is the fact that the temperatures are going up. You know, it might be the last time we are going to be in the minus 27, minus 31 range in Markham and Kitchener. It might be. Certainly its days are numbered because our normal overnight lows would be around minus 9 this time of year, and we'll be close to that tonight, believe it or not. And then Thursday, although the blue suggests cold, look at this, Rachel, minus 3, woohoo, minus 1. Oh, my goodness.
Awesome. That is great.
I feel almost traumatized. Oh, look, minus 8. Okay, I feel more like I'm back in winter. No, I'm kidding. Beautiful day out there. Thanks, Kasia. Enjoy. Down on the Lake Erie shorelines. And we're in between storm systems. This is a bruiser of a storm system. Atlanta is the busiest airport in the world, and they have a long list of cancellations today, and with lots of connecting flights, this is having a big knock-on or ripple effect. Freezing rain, the main concern there, 10 to 25 millimeters of accretion. That's close to an inch. And snowfall over a foot, over 30 centimeters in some cases. And that low is barreling north to Canada, to the Atlantic provinces. We're quiet. Look at that, minus 6 in Toronto. Let's go back to that for a second. Minus 6. Feeling like minus 10, minus 13. This is nothing. We have been minus 16, we've been minus 26, and we were in that minus 26 range this morning. Look at those records. Goodbye. This could be the last time, or one of the very last times, could be, that we see minus 30 or something. Minus 30-something, pardon me, in the Kitchener-Waterloo area and the Golden Horseshoe area. Because tomorrow those highs are minus 2, minus 4, minus 5 for Orangeville. That's where we should be this time of year. Snow at Snow Valley, a dusting for Valentine's Day Friday. That might affect our Toronto commute. And then we get a little colder for the weekend and the potential of snow or a mix on Monday. Monday is Family Day. But look at those temperatures. They are trending back to normal for this time of year going into next week. All right, coming up, traffic. Well, yeah, Friday's Valentine's Day. Just plan something nice, something fun. And if you're planning to take in the first day of the boat and fishing show, that's going on at the International Center, and the auto show down at the Convention Center, those start Friday. That might be your sweetie's idea of a wonderful time. Or perhaps it's not, in which case you'll be out for a nice dinner or a nice stroll or skate, as you saw a moment ago. I mentioned a Valentine's Day storm. This low is barreling north towards Atlantic Canada Thursday into Friday. It is going to have a big impact. It's been a big freezing rainstorm in the U.S., and you can still see some of that in this pink zone in between the snow and blue and the rain and green. Atlanta, the world's busiest airport. So, lots of effects there in terms of delays, cancellations, disruptions, connecting flights, and so on. Cold front comes through northern Ontario. It's moving through now. It weakens, doesn't bring us a thing. In fact, our winds are going to start shifting to the south. Next low comes in. Friday morning, we might see a dusting of Valentine's Day snow. But the big story, quiet weather for now and milder temperatures. We were down in the minus 20s this morning, even minus 31 for a record in Kitchener. How about minus 15? Instead, tonight, 15 degrees warmer, and then we'll get near zero Friday, colder for the weekend, near and above zero next week. Signs of the warm-up. You know, Rachel, it's a late winter trend. We're right on track.
I never thought I would cheer for 0 degrees, Suzanne, so very excited for that. Now,
below minus 10. We're all in the minus single digits. Glorious ice sculptures, cold enough to keep those intact. Last weekend of Winterlude in Ottawa, So those ice sculptures there will be intact. Taking a look at cloud cover. We've colored in the cloud tops for you so you can see the departing low for Ontario. This is the ice storm that is coating roads and causing travel nightmares for many in the U.S. Southeast. And Rachel's going to comment on that coming up. Taking a look at what the West Coast. Yeah, plumes of moisture coming ashore. The U.S. South, it's a heavy snow event, also significant freezing rain. And this is the second round in as many days. If we take a look at temperatures here at home, minus single digits. Oh, thanks, Orangeville, for spoiling mine. No one's in the double digits. Everyone's in the single digits below zero. Anyway, forget Orangeville for just a second. Well, not entirely, but I want to show you these cold, cold temperatures. They have done some really interesting things. They've certainly helped to freeze up Lake Erie, and they've helped to create some beautiful ice sculptures. Crystal Beach is where Kasia is today. Oh, wonderful stuff. Winter can be a wonderful season. This is also wonderful. Normal temperatures are around -1 for the city of Toronto this time of year. Valentine's Day Friday, we're going to get there. Getting you home, that's a different matter. Okay. Can you believe me? Is it an early April Fool's joke? 2 days before Valentine's Day. We're not at April 1 just yet, but it is going to feel noticeably warmer along with the longer days and the stronger sunshine. That's what you've got to look forward to. However, couple spoilers here, and Rachel's going to talk a bit more about this ice storm for the U.S. South. Atlanta, getting freezing rain. That's what the pink means. And the radar, blue is snow, rain is green. Atlanta is the busiest airport in the world in terms of passengers served, and many of those passengers are camping out, probably getting a little irritable right about now, although being understanding, I'm sure, of course, the fact that it's a dreadful situation to deal with. You've got significant ice accretion here, and it is just not safe for travel in many instances. Closer to home, well, you'll see that low run up the Atlantic seaboard in the next 12, 18 hours. We've got a dissipating low. There's the monster storm. Rainfall warnings for Halifax, and we'll get a light dusting of snow, it looks like, Friday morning for Valentine's Day. Temperatures overnight, hard to believe that Kitchener was -31 this morning, -15 overnight tomorrow morning. And although we'll be a little cooler than normal on the weekend, our normal daytime high is -1, and we'll be there this week and next week. Now, heading out this afternoon, we've got a lot of problems on the roads, I know, Rachel, but it's really nothing weather-wise compared to the U.S. South.
Absolutely, Suzanne. I've been reading on Twitter and...
Oh, wonderful stuff. Thanks, Kasia. It's a magical landscape down at Crystal Beach where you get good onshore flow, lots of waves, lots of water, and lots of cold air. You get these wonderful ice formations, and you don't have to drive all that far. In the city of Toronto, in Burlington and Oakville, out towards the East End, out towards Port Hope and Cobourg, really anywhere along the shoreline, you're seeing some pretty dramatic natural ice sculptures right now. So before it gets mild and things start to break up, have a good look. Speaking of mild, -9 in Kitchener, -31 this morning. Can you believe the contrast? This morning, record low temperatures. Welland, 27.7 below. I mean, that's bitterly cold. 1917, almost a century-old record shattered. So a huge warm-up when we look at current temperatures compared to how far we've come. And this could be one of the last mornings of widespread bitter cold. I'm not saying it won't get cold again. It certainly will. We've got a long ways to go with winter, but one of the last really widespread, deeply cold, bitter mornings. Look at the afternoon temperatures. That's not bitter cold. -3, -4, even milder on Friday. Friday early, a dusting of snow, and Monday could be a little bit messy. That's a holiday Monday. That's a family day holiday, of course. Right now, the really messy stuff is down in the U.S. Southeast. It's coming to Atlantic Canada. It's an ice storm in the U.S. South. And to be honest, Mother Nature not disappointing. BC coast, Atlantic coast, both ends of the country will have some very stormy weather on Friday. So if your present is someone flying in from either area, just be aware that there is a very real possibility of some travel delays. It's great to see you, Suzanne Leonard, with Rachel Schutzen and the team. Kasia's down in Crystal Beach, has been today, checking out the ice caves. John DeGarris is at the controls. He wants me to show you this first, the forecast of, one low disappearing. Storm system riding up the Atlantic seaboard, only getting stronger, but not affecting Ontario. This low is, but again, it's dissipating as it moves in. Friday morning, Valentine's Day, a little cool to start things off. but milder temperatures coming and possibly some light snow coming. The incredible thing about today is how much we have warmed up so significantly. And I've been saying, you know, this could end up being the last or one of the last widespread bitter cold starts. If you consider Kitchener was minus 31 this morning and Welland was about minus 28 and Markham also set a record in the minus 20s, these temperatures are at least 10 degrees warmer than last night. A moderating trend, the winds coming from a more favorable direction, i.e. the south-southwest as opposed to the north. And there's the warm up. A little snow Friday, a little cooler for the weekend, but notice no double-digit daytime highs, and Rachel, next week, 0 or above. And when I say topped minus 10, I mean we're up to minus 9, minus 8 in many cases. Indications that we are indeed stepping out of the freezer. And unlike some of our recent warm-ups, it looks like we're turning the corner at least for the next week or so with a bump. There's always a bump, isn't there? Often. But temperatures are really starting to turn around, and this is huge news. In other words, minus 1s, minus 2s, plus 1s. Snow, a little bit of light snow. It's up around Sudbury, Timmins right now. That low is dissipating. The next low moves in, and for Valentine's Day, Friday morning, the commute, there may be a light dusting of snow. Nothing that we can't handle completely confidently, because we've had so much to endure this winter. Really, we've had an old-fashioned winter. There's more stormy weather just on the far right side of the map, and that's affecting Atlantic Canada and the U.S. Southeast. The ice storm that you may have heard about affecting Atlanta, and the snow and the ice through the Carolinas. That's that storm. Not going to affect us. And the temperatures, just take a long look at that for a second. Minus 10, minus 16. This morning, areas like Markham were minus 24, and it was minus 31 in Kitchener-Waterloo. Temperatures, we are turning the page, Rachel. Minus 3, minus 1, down a little for the weekend in Toronto, up again. Yes, we'll have some periods of active weather. Yes, it will get cold again sometime between now and the May long weekend. But I want to go on record as saying this could be one of the last widespread bitter mornings of the season.
And
Cool, cold, icy, and definitely temporary. However, cold temperatures, these are temporary too. I think you're going to like this forecast. Great to see you. It's Wednesday, minus 27.7. Look at Welland, almost 100 years since it was a record temperature on this date. Minus 30.6, minus 31 in Kitchener, 1919. This could be the last or one of the last really widespread cold mornings for southern Ontario. I want you to see Thursday. These are afternoon highs. Things are changing dramatically. Milder Pacific air is making its way across the continent. The winds are shifting. And with little systems coming through like northern Ontario today, that'll dissipate in the north but allow more of that milder air to flow in. And we're all the way up to minus 1 in Toronto, minus 3 in Barrie for Valentine's Day Friday. We may see a dusting of snow on Friday, a 40% chance of precipitation throughout the daytime period. Morning lows in the weekend forecast, minus 15, minus 12. Saturday, Sunday, cool days, and then we're up for temperatures next week. Monday is the Family Day holiday, so if you've got a long weekend planned, great stuff to do in and around the GTA. Reptilia is indoors. We were at the ROM the other day. We were down at Lake Erie earlier today looking at the ice sculptures there. Could be some very messy weather coming out of the west for us by Monday, but the really nasty weather today is in the U.S. South. Freezing rain and snow. Let's go to Georgia right now. Some great events going on this weekend, and you know, it's great to go to a sporting event, especially with Winter Games fever, but sometimes it's a bit expensive, isn't it? Especially if you want to take the whole family. There's some fun things going on if fishing is your thing, boating, big show out at the International Center, auto show down at the Convention Center. That's starting on Friday. Right now, still very much Wednesday. It's coming up to 6 o'clock. Rachel's coming up with your commute. I'm looking at these temperatures thinking goodbye, minus 10s and 12s. I mean, really. And the wind chills? Okay, there's a little bit of a wind chill, minus 15 Barrie, Aurelia, minus 17, Orangeville, around Erin, around Hockley Valley. Overnight, that cold front dissipates. That allows the milder continental air to move in. Massive storm along the Atlantic seaboard, same one that's been causing ice and snow delays in the U.S. South. This low comes our way with perhaps a dusting of snow into Friday morning. But overall, all the stormy weather in BC is bringing us a milder trend. It's helping our temperatures moderate. I mean, look at this. As cold as it's going to get, -8 Saturday, -15 in the morning. Okay, it's a cold start if you're taking the kids skiing or snowboarding or just heading out to do errands or the local toboggan hill. That's always free. Temperatures going up next week. That's the trend. Keep us tuned in for your local forecast. Monday could be a bit messy in Ontario. Right now, Rachel, the really stormy stuff. BC's taking a break. Maritime's not yet, but the U.S.
Yes, absolutely, Suzanne, if you're in it.
Looking good, looking good. In the words of the Beatles, cuckoo, cuckoo. I think that was the Beatles, wasn't it? 50th anniversary Ed Sullivan appearance last weekend. What does that have to do with the weather? Well, cuckoo, cuckoo. Look at this. -27.7, Welland, 1917, the old record. 1919 for Kitchener. -31. Yeah, I am excited. Cold temperatures this morning. This could be one of the last widespread frigid morning starts for southern Ontario. I want you to see Thursday. Temperatures warming up. In the morning alone, -7, -12, and it gets even better in the afternoon. One of the downsides of all the cold, well, the cold's also been good to keep the snowpacks intact. So Ski Hill's pretty happy about that. And the Family Day long weekend's coming up. Friday's Valentine's Day. Oh, and look at the temperatures. Really, they aren't typos. I'm not missing ones in front of these 2s and 3s. We are going to be close to 0. We're going to be colder for the day on the weekend. Morning lows -teens. Look at next week. Monday might be a little messy, but a milder trend taking shape. Coming up, business, I certainly hope so. In the city of Toronto, for example, the first round of closures is a week from Sunday, the 23rd of February. I know, it's around the corner already, isn't it? And around the corner, good to see you. Suzanne Leonard and the team this evening, -7. They are setting up down at the Convention Center and out at the International Center for the auto show and the fishing and boat show. It's a springtime show. We've got a couple of big spring shows going on. So those things are coming up. They're setting up this evening, open to the public, those spots on Friday. Notice how that cold front just dissipates, keeps on moving on. And a storm system for the Atlantic seaboard. A little low comes our way. It weakens. No storms for us, but certainly likely a dusting of light snow, many parts of southern Ontario for Friday morning. It has been exceptionally cold, tracking the warming temperatures. Kitchener, Waterloo, City. Yeah, good point. It is more comfortable. We were -31 in Kitchener, Waterloo this morning, and shattering an almost century-old record in Welland as well, -28. Look at the temperatures tomorrow. Hamilton, a little colder Saturday, southern Ontario, but we are warming up. However, tracking very stormy weather elsewhere in North America. Take a look at what's happening in the U.S. Southeast. It's been widespread snow, widespread freezing rain. So, dealing with stormy weather, Friday there could be winds over 100 kilometers an hour in Newfoundland. Friday's pretty calm here. It's Valentine's Day. -1, 40% chance of flurries. We're a little colder Saturday, Sunday as the winds shift, but we're going to be warmer, it looks like, going into Monday. However, a storm system coming out of the U.S. and the western parts of Canada may convert to bring us some messy weather. That's coming up on Monday. Family Day. Snow easing, visibility improving after a blowy night Wednesday in Manitoba. Weak system moves into northern Ontario. Powerful system comes out of the U.S. South. And snow changing to rain for Nova Scotia. Snow changing to rain Newfoundland. Powerful winds Friday. Another storm on its heels with a similar track for the weekend. Perhaps late winter, Salvo Beach. Oh, Monica, the snowbanks are still huge. Meteorologist Monica Vaswani with us. At least southern Ontario for now seems to be missing the storms.
That's right. East and west side of the country is both going to see some active weather, but not us.
Right. Big plume of moisture on the west coast. Hey, that's helping to warm parts of Canada, but you wouldn't have known it judging by our temperatures this morning.
That's right. Now we're expecting a little bit of a warm up for the remainder of February. That's good news.
That is. I'm seeing -20s and -30s, but take heart. This could potentially be the last, or one of the last, really, really cold mornings.
Yes, that's right.
All right, snowfall coming up for the long weekend, and we'll get to the warm up in a second. First off, the Valentine's Day dusting of snow that we might see.
Yeah, it's not from this first system, but it's a second clipper, comes through, and it's Thursday overnight into Friday morning. It's just a dusting, but it will bring us milder temperatures as well on Friday.
Okay, so signs of late winter when we start to talk about milder temperatures. And then Monday, now Monday's, again, a holiday. So this is an important day for people, but forecast models are in complete disagreement, it seems. I'm just going to circle southern Ontario. Take us through what we might see Monday evening.
This is around the Golden Horseshoe, but if we look at the Canadian model, this is saying something a little bit different, more of a snow event for Monday evening and maybe some freezing rain in around southwestern Ontario. So the Canadian model, on the other hand, saying we're not done with you yet. We're going to see a little bit of rain, a little bit of a rain-snow mix, and maybe even a little bit of snow. So something to watch, but we definitely need to pin down these details a little bit more.
Okay, so a heads up that we've got potentially a messy mix coming for later on Monday into Tuesday. Now, there's no place like home. This is the picture of the day from Owen Sound on our website. So beautiful, this shot of winter. We wanted to share it with all of you. Have a look at the website. Upload your photos as well. And Monica, this is going to be beautiful for a lot of people. This warm trend looks like it might stay with us.
Yes, it's just this last weekend that's cold, and then we get a nice warm up.
All right, so normal temperature this time of year, -1. Looks like we're going to go there. Stay with us for more.